Reselling has actually changed my life. It has helped me a lot. And this video might pretty much come out as an encouragement to somebody out there. When I started reselling many years ago, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know how things were going to play out. I just saw it like something that was kind of interesting to me. I had a lot of fun doing it. I just loved the idea of going around picking stuff, because I actually did start reselling, picking free stuff online. There used to be a website back then. eBay Kleinanzeigen was called in German, and in this website, you pretty much could get a lot of free stuff, and this was how I actually started. I just love this idea of, seeing a free printer online, writing for it, and then going to pick it up after my work at the time, bringing it home, and then coming to discover to see if it's still usable. And more often than not, most items that people were throwing away were actually still very in good working condition. So when I brought these items home, I was able to fix them, not really fixing them like real fixing, like, if you know what I mean. Just clean them up. Sometimes you need to buy a new cartridge, you need to buy a new, depending on the item. If it was a printer, just need to buy new inks and the item is working again. Sometimes if it was a laptop, it was just a little problem. Perhaps the keyboard was not working properly. Just need to buy a new keyboard and put on the laptop. Also getting a lot of help from YouTube videos. So I just love this process. And then I didn't know actually what I was actually getting myself into. But the more I was taking things to resell, I pretty much figured that I love the process. I just love writing people, coming from work, going again out. It gave me an opportunity to go out, because naturally I would have just closed from work and come home, sit down, perhaps sit down on the balcony and then just chill out or watch some movie, but then it gave me, like an activity to do after my work. This was very, very interesting. But then many years later, reselling has pretty much made me the man who I am today. It developed a lot of skills that naturally I would not have, gone to start to develop. First of all, it made me a very, very hardworking person, because with this reselling, gradually the business became bigger, started to do a lot of volumes, to buy a lot of inventories, and gradually I needed to process these inventories. And because of this whole reselling thing, I needed to just be strong to do them, because sometimes, truth be said, it was very, very stressful. In the beginning, I had no processes, I had no systems. Everything, when I go to buy stuff, I'm just going to bring them to the warehouse and then begin to sometimes post them almost immediately, because you are excited, you've brought some new items, you really want to sell them, and then the items start to sell, only for you to realize that you're not even ready to sell the item, because some of the items have not been checked for functionality. So reselling pretty much made me strong. It developed this innate spirit of hard work in me, which I never ever knew that I had. When the kind of hard work that you put in when you are studying, it's pretty much different from when you are rendering a service to a group of people, because as resellers that we are rendering a very, very valid service, a very, very important service to a lot of people. You have gone out there to source for products. Now you have placed this product on a platform like eBay, and then the items have been sold. You have to send them out, and this is a lot of work. This is a lot of service. And then the more I did this, the more I developed into a super hardworking person. Sometimes when I look at the amount of work I have done in the past, when I look at the quantity of work that I have done alone without being managed or even micromanaged, I pretty much just wonder. And then if you're talking about the financial aspect of it, reselling has also been a huge blessing to me and my family. So many times things were pretty much hard up, but because I had items listed on eBay, the items sold and I was able to get money to solve the immediate needs. And when the items back then were coming to me for free, this was really a game changer, because when you get items for free, it's very easy to sell them. You pretty much didn't pay anything to get the item. So if you list them at a particular price, you are always going to be better off than the person that actually paid money to get the item. So when I got free items back then, it was always a beautiful time, because I knew that the items were going to be sold and there was always going to be money to meet some immediate need. Because if you work a typical 9-to-5 job, no matter how prudent you are with money, you're always going to be broke at some point, except you have a job that pays you very, very good and you have been doing a lot of savings. But if you have a typical regular job, most times at the end of before the 20th of the month, you're already kind of low on income, and you just can't wait for the month to be 30th so that you can get your next payment. But then I didn't have this kind of typical everyday normal people problem, because I always had items listed on eBay, and these items, they were always selling, and there was always money to here go shopping, here buy this, pay for that, pay for this. If there's an emergency expenses, there was always going to be a way to get money to just solve it. So this was beautiful. Another thing that reselling has actually done for me, which was not a conscious character of mine that I built, is the character of patience. As a reseller, one of the things you must bring to the table is that you must be patient. If you go out and buy items, sometimes you buy items worth thousands of euros, you bring them to the platform, you are thinking that you're going to be making a lot of banks from the items you bought, only for you to realize that, look, these items are not selling the way you thought they would sell. And in this case, there's no need to be angry with your wife or angry with your kids. You just have to be patient. And there, not once, not twice, I was in a similar situation like this. You buy items, before you hurriedly bring them to your shop and list them, the competitor has also bought that same item. Sometimes you even wonder, how is this competitor able to know that this item, I just bought it? Just buys it and just brings down the price to less than nothing. And at the end of the day, the competitor is not profiting, you are also not profiting, and you are just angry. But if you have patience, which reselling ultimately taught me, because naturally in the beginning, I wasn't a very patient person. But then over time, having to deal with these kind of situations actually taught me to be patient, especially for situations that you cannot really just change on your own. The only thing you have to do in situations like this is just to be patient. You see, eBay as a platform is a very beautiful platform. I respect the platform for the opportunity that they have given to us. But sometimes it's what it is. There could be technical challenges that just make items not to be selling the way you would have expected. In this case, what you have to bring to the table is just patience. There's nothing you can do. If it's going to last like 3 or 4 weeks for items, for sales to just be slow, it is what it is. There's no way you can actually hurry your stuff and just kind of generate magic sales from nowhere. It doesn't work like that. When it's happening that sales are slow, the only character you have to bring to the table is the character of patience. And eBay pretty much taught me patience. Another thing that eBay taught me was confidence. Confidence in yourself that yes, you can do it. When I started selling on eBay, man, I met a lot of challenges. People kind of said, no, this is no job. This is nothing. This is just waste of time, waste of valuable time that you should have used for something valuable, But then I stayed true to my dreams of making sure my business works. And over time of doing this over and over again, it gave me some kind of confidence that I have that the person not having the same perspective that I have might be pretty much wondering, how are you so confident? How are you so sure that this item will sell? How are you so sure that this item that looks broken can still be used by somebody out there? That I am a reseller, that I have sold different items in different conditions for a very, very long time. This gave me the confidence that I would not have necessarily built by myself, because confidence comes from you being sure that this thing works, For the person out there, not a reseller, he or she doesn't know. It doesn't have this confidence. I have it. I have tried it. I have sold items in different conditions. I have sold these items to people that received them and ultimately told me, thank you so much for this good item that you have sent to me. That for me, I'm like, what? This item? Thank you. This is what it is. And this practice of being a reseller, doing it over the years, have actually built my self-confidence. Also, the self-confidence on what I am capable of doing. Because if you don't have a way of testing the extent to which you can go as a person, if you don't have anything going on, there's no way you can actually test how you will behave, what you will do when you are faced with difficulties. There were times where expensive items were sold and the items were missing in transit. Expensive items were sold, the money have been spent in buying new inventories, and then the buyer says, I want to return the item. I've been able to maneuver all these different situations that reselling brings to you, because sometimes if you do not have the third eye, you just want to believe that reselling is all full of bullshit, full of problems. But if you look deeper, you flip it over and take a look from a different perspective, you will see that some of the problems, some of the challenges that we have as resellers are actually meant to help us a better version of ourselves. So the more problems you can solve, the more challenges you can deal with, the more difficult situation you are able to overcome, the better you ultimately will be as a person. And all this I have been able to attain because of reselling. This is just a few, and it's just the beginning of a series of videos which I'm going to be sharing with you guys about how reselling has made me ultimately to become a better person. If you are out there not so sure of what to do, but you pretty much know that you would like to start a business, reselling, which is buying things from point A and trying to sell them at point B, is something I can highly, highly recommend to you. If this video helps you, do me a favor, go ahead and click on the like button, be subscribed to the channel, and make sure you turn on your notification bell so you are informed when I post a similar content like this. Until I see you again, peace.